But when me and Mike, we actually did the Hoover Dam. We did the old guy trip, right? So we actually got in the car and headed to the Hoover Dam. Like,
why is that the old guy trip? Old guys are into dams.
Well, I didn't do that back in the Army days. Like, who the hell wants to see the dam? But like, we wanted to check that box.
Did you guys go in your New Balance sneakers and just marvel at the engineering of that thing?
Yeah,
is that what happened?
Yeah, we did.
We're like, I'll be damned. Look at this thing.
Hey, look at me at the dam. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We're starting it off with a bang. There we go. Welcome back to the Pavement Group podcast, Talking Lots. Today we have we got a trio here. We're on Zoom meetings all the time together, but we've never done the podcast together. So we're welcoming Trish Lammy. Am I saying it right? I've known you for years, and I always question if I'm saying your last name correctly. Is it Lammy?
Lammy. Yep, like a
Lammy. Okay, because sometimes I want to say
from Barbie to Lammy.
Went from Barbie to Lammy. It's slight transition. So welcome. How come you haven't been on yet?
I don't know. Probably
you've
because
been dodging
I haven't been eager to get on here yet. Yeah,
you have. You've been dodging the podcast. Yeah, we've asked several times. But what'd you say, Tony?
She's definitely been dodging it, but we're glad to have her here today.
Right. Well, I said, Trish, what are you most nervous about? She said, Tony. And that's what everybody's nervous about. But
that's just work.
Absolutely.
That's not
but
just
the best,
right?
The best wingman in the business, identified as a former pilot, Tony Grout here as well. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Let's settle in at 35,000, Todd.
That is never going to get old. It is. It is, but not yet. It isn't yet. We're going to tell you. So, but Trisha, welcome. Awesome to have you on here. We the three of us are on calls all the time, and we have a lot of fun, and we sort of have similar senses of humor, and it was kind of natural to bring it on here. We try to keep this show, the podcast, a little bit light anyhow, and this is part of the Inside the Group series that we're doing, so folks out there get a chance to meet the team and kind of see what it looks like to work at the Pavement Group, right? So you are, I'd call you one of the original six. We should come up with that.
She's definitely the OG.
I'm number 6. Yeah.
Number 6. So you were in the original 6. So you've seen a lot here since your time coming over. And Trish was in the industry before, and that's how you knew Brian, and you had met Tony before you worked here as well. So with your sort of origin story, which is a big theme right now within our company, we just tell us, and you don't have to tell us everything, but just a little bit about how you ended up at the Pavement Group.
Yeah, so I was working for a self-performing company in South Florida, and my family and we had 2 kids at the time. We always talked about getting out of Florida and wanting to move our family to like North Carolina, Georgia area, somewhere in that area. So my sister got out of the Navy and moved to North Carolina. So what's that?
I said, go Army.
Navy. So my sister moved up here. So we started talking about that a bit. And I had known Brian from working with him a few years prior to that. And I knew what he was getting started with the Pavement Group. So we started talking to see if that was an option if we moved up here. And they were kind of just getting to the point of being ready to bring on another person. So kind of worked out perfectly, and kind of everything has kind of fallen into place since.
Same time you moved and took the new job?
Yeah.
You had 2 little kids?
2 little kids. My husband.
You said you had 2. Like how many do you have now? I mean,
47, Tony. 47.
47. Man, congratulations.
We have 4 kids now.
Got it.
Ages ranging from 5 months to 13 years old. So we got one in kind of every stage of life right now.
Yeah. Why do you, Tony, don't you have 4?
No, I don't have 4. I only have 3.
Oh, you got 3. Okay. Yeah, my bad. Because you're always getting on Trish for having 4 kids. Like that's a huge amount of children. It's not like she's got 20.
In the 2 years that I've been here, like there 2 came. So I'm just figuring out, when.
It was like back to back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
The jab of when's next and what's next. So
yeah, sure. So you got 2 teenagers and 2 babies.
Twins thrown out there, so that's probably next on her deal.
The what?
Right. The triplets or the twins. They're
next.
Oh
no, that was my biggest fear. Every time I was pregnant, I said, I don't care if it's a boy or girl, just please let it only be one.
Right.
No more. All done. We're good at 4.
So you moved to North Carolina. You live kind of near Charlotte.
Yep.
Your husband uprooted. So Drew, who's part of our crew here, we love Drew. He's an electrician, and he had to come up and just start his career over as well. And you started with a new company and all. What was that like? I mean, was it scary? Was it exciting? What was that like for you guys?
I think it was a combination. My personality is very like planner and like to have all my, plans laid out prior to, but
Sure.
I knew Brian and I knew his excitement and drive and all that. So like I felt a lot of confidence, I think, in him, with the company in general. My husband had just completed his journeyman, his apprenticeship in Florida and got his journeyman license. So it was like the perfect time if we were going to make a move, to do it then. But yeah, we left with 2 kids, 2 little ones, came up here. He didn't even have a job lined up, but he got here and went to a couple interviews, and yeah.
That's cool.
Been working for the same company since.
Just faith in, the Pavement Group, but more so faith in yourselves that we'll figure it out. We'll go do this. And it seems like it's worked out pretty good so far. Are you happy where you are? From a
100%.
Geographic standpoint, you guys loving North Carolina?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think we're going anywhere.
Okay.
Maybe Pittsburgh in the summers, but that's TBD.
Got a house there.
Only in the
Right
summers.
On. So how do you find time to do everything that you need to do? So 2 very busy parents. You have a real important job with the Pavement Group. Obviously going at a fast clip, and then having 4 kids in the different stages that they're in. How do you guys find time for everything?
I think it's a partnership. We pick up each other's slack, and without hesitation. Anytime I'm working late or he's working late, like the other one, making dinner, picking up the kids from school, like it's kind of not even really a discussion. Like we kind of just do it. I don't know. It's been how it's always been with us. Like it's a team, so
yeah,
that doesn't stop when it comes to like household chores and all that stuff. Like we kind of just handle everything together. So.
That's great.
It's awesome.
That's great. Tony, you leaving Florida anytime soon?
I'm here for a little bit longer, Todd. I'm looking to get you guys all down here one day.
I'm in for it.
Only in the winter.
Absolutely. Say that again. I'm sorry.
In Florida.
You can just keep talking. That's how this works.
Just
keep talking. And the loudest one's going to win. It's like old sports radio. That's how podcasts need to work now. You just keep yelling.
Is Todd's outro. Like he has got that down. No one talks over it. Nothing. It's always great.
Top of my game, Tony, right now. Top of my game on outros.
That's it.
That's what the fans are asking for. Yeah, I would love to get down to Florida, like 3 months a year at least. I don't know. We had a pretty mild winter here in Boston, but even still, as you get older, you're like, the cold gets really annoying. But I think everybody moved to Florida during COVID. The last couple of times I've been down there, the traffic's insane, and they're just the sprawl outside of these the cities down there. So,
even at its coldest, you can play golf here, Todd.
I know. No, that's very attractive.
Yep.
That is very attractive. You get the snakes though. That scares me a little bit. Those pythons.
I'm sure you're not going anywhere near the Everglades anytime soon, so we're good.
Not an Everglades. You don't think I'm an Everglades kind of guy?
Nah, probably not. No, Todd.
Why is that? What's up in the Everglades?
No, you're just.
I haven't ever been.
Yeah, it's the snakes. Like I'm sure that you. That's just somewhere that you're not going to thrive.
No, that's fair. Are there golf courses in the Everglades?
Team.
What's that?
A good team, what, Trish?
That would be a good team building thing. All of us go out to your house out there, Tony. Take everybody on a airboat or something. See some gators.
Yep. That would be it. Like gators, iguanas, anything you want. They're down.
Iguanas. That would be fun. I think that would be fun. All right, so let's get back to the subject at hand here, getting to know Trish Lamy. Trish, what's the favorite part of your job? So you're the director of operations. I should set this up a little bit. And so most of the jobs after things are sold and we've got contracts flow through your department, the folks that work with you, and you touch just about every part of the job until it's getting billed. What's your favorite part of the job?
I think overall, my favorite part is creating something that helps somebody else do their job easier or more efficiently. So that you know can roll into like overall like creating SOPs, and which anybody on the team would tell you that's my favorite thing to do.
Right.
But I think ultimately it's when even little things, like if I'm on a call with somebody and they're like, "Oh, what was that you just did?" And it's like one little trick that like can help them do their job easier on a day to day. That's probably my favorite part.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder where that comes from. Like, why do you love that, checking that box and helping people check the boxes? Like, is that a left brain, right brain thing, Tony?
I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you what. There's not too many gaps in her system and what she's put together.
No.
Like there
Airtight.
is. I mean, when you talk about boxes, there's several to check, and I think that's obviously she's the backbone of what makes us and what we do so great here.
Yeah, agreed. No, that's true.
So, I mean, you can't spell Trish without S-O.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, usually you
can. Oh man, yeah, you've definitely built out a robust system of, well, it's SOPs, but it's like that job flow. I think one reason why we are able to do a really good job is, like kind of the vision's laid out there from what it should look like from start to finish, and then you're able to go in and just add all that detail to it that that makes it work, that makes it go from bucket to bucket to bucket. And it's pretty neat. And thank God you do, because I don't think the rest of us have the patience or the detail orientation to do that sort of stuff. And you're good at it. All right,
so guys.
Yeah, especially the sales guys. No, absolutely. It just is what it is,
It is, yeah, it always has been.
Say which one, Todd.
No, I'm the third worst. I would. No, I'm just kidding. But you don't talk about that. A lot of companies, I think, suffer from this, right, where they're just not admitting that, hey, you're not good at this and I'm not good at this. I wouldn't want to do that. You don't want to do that. But let's appreciate the fact that you do it well and I do this well. And I think we do a good job of that here. Like a lot of companies don't. They'll just keep making people do things that they're not good at, right? Or that suck their energy, and we try to remove those barriers and then appreciate each other for it. Like I'm genuine when I'm saying to you, I'm blown away by what you do, because I don't have that part of my brain. I couldn't do it well. I couldn't do it all day. But you just take great, joy and accomplishment in getting it done. So, but as sales guys, Tony,
both ways too, though. Like I couldn't do what you do. I couldn't, do the sales side of it. So like you said, understanding that and getting everybody where they're best suited. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, people wouldn't want to do presentations or have to make 40 phone calls in a day or that sort of thing, which I get. And that doesn't bother me at all to do that stuff. But the fact that we have an appreciation for what everybody's talents are, and we kind of line everybody up to succeed instead of to keep banging our heads against the wall. I think it's a little bit of the secret sauce, which we're not supposed to let out there. But
don't
there it is.
Secret sauce. It's everything
That's
behind
the nugget.
The scenes right here. Everything behind the scenes that makes the customer experience so awesome here. So
right.
And we're not going to get into that. We can't. We're contractually bound not to talk at any great length about
Tony, this is corporate. Please stop. This is corporate. Oh, dude, did you hear that?
That's it.
This is corporate in the sky.
That's it.
So what's your least favorite part of the job? Like what drives you nuts? What do you not like doing? You can say
it's good that you have to think of it.
It is, because I really enjoy majority of what I do day to day. I think as we're getting bigger and the team's getting bigger, my least favorite part is being remote, because when I do get into the office, like the energy is so strong and like I leave there feeling so like excited about the next day, and then I come home and I gotta go back to my desk by myself, and the energy is just not the same. But I appreciate the fact that we're able to work remote because, I don't want to live in Pittsburgh, first of all. But, the flexibility and stuff that comes with being able to have different people around the country on our team I think is part of the reason we're so successful to begin with. But
Sure.
Agree.
Agree. That's it, Tony? Thought you
That's
had a
it.
little follow-up
That's
there.
it.
I
No,
felt a follow-up coming. You had your follow-up face
that
on.
was
You
a
were
good
like,
follow-up. Yeah, we spent a couple weeks ago, everybody in Pittsburgh and the event and TCS guys there. Our one team rollout happened to be around that kind of energy, especially with you guys and the team that we have there. I mean, you can't match that when we come back and where'd everybody go? Right?
I
it's so
know.
quiet.
It's so quiet.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
It's a testament to the people that that are part of the one team, that are part of the top contractor school, and we get a little spoiled with that. It's such a unique group of people that the energy is incredible. So was it last week or 10 days ago, whatever it was, we had a meetup. So there was kind of two events that were happening at our headquarters in Pittsburgh, where we have 14 people, I think it is now, working in that office already. And so we had some of our top 10 of the one team contractors. And the one team is our group of contractors from around the country. We've decided to brand it and really lean into the whole organization, because we've got a special group of people and we want to be able to provide them with the support and help them make their companies better and help them become much more part of the fabric of the Pavement group. So that's really what that one team thing is. So we brought in our top 10 contractors to have a little celebration, and then the top contractor school, which everybody knows what that is, was having a meetup as well. And the convergence there was 110 of us, I think, that went to the Pirates game, for example. We had dinners. There was some learning that went on at the headquarters, and it was just really neat. So to get that kind of energy, and you're right, then you go home and you're like, so quiet in here. It's just me now.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, I want to go back. Back. It's hard to match that,
Marking the calendars again for, I guess, the end of June is when the next top contractor retreat is in Vegas, baby.
In Vegas, you getting your markers lined up out there, Tony? Is that how you roll? You go to the Mirage to get $100 grand set aside for the craps table?
At least $100 grand.
Okay.
Me and Mike, it's black 4, right? That's our number.
That's the one you hit on.
That's it.
Will you tell that story? You put a bet down by accident?
Oh, that was a long time ago. That was an Army story.
I thought that was this past trip. Sorry.
No, I was stationed in Fort Ord, California, so Monterey, and we used to go to Reno on the weekends. So a nice 5-hour drive over there, and obviously in the Army making $0, but there's a such thing as nickel slots, and as long as you're playing, you're drinking, right?
Okay.
So that was our way to on the balling on a budget that we had, but made it over to the roulette table, and may or may not have had a few to drink, and everything was landing on red, and I may or may not have lost consciousness. I don't know, but when I woke up, there was a nice stack of about $385, which was probably like 4 weeks' pay in the Army. So
right.
Yeah, that's my roulette story. So I'm
no tigers.
That's it. No tigers. I don't. Yeah, Mike Tyson was just starting out then, so it was one of those deals. But yeah,
he wasn't even making movies yet.
That was my roulette story. So got a passion for it. I'm good at it.
Yeah, you are a natural. That's incredible. Oh man, Trish, you ever been to Vegas?
Kind of. I've been to Vegas once, but not for like the
did
Vegas
Trish freeze up on us?
experience.
Oh, she froze with a great smile though, Todd.
With a great smile. That might have to be the headshot. If you're seeing this at home.
It has to be. That's probably got to go on the album cover.
Yeah.
On my back.
Right on the jacket.
No, we have to.
I think you're right. But that one team event, well, I'm sure she's going to come back.
Am I
there
back
we go.
Now? There we go.
There you
go.
Switch
Froze
to
for a sec.
the hot spot.
You froze in a great spot. We've got good things we're going to do with that picture.
Right.
Great. When we do the vinyl, the album cover is going to have that on there, Trish. So thank you for that.
It was like school picture day. It was a perfect pose. Perfect pose.
No tree.
Trish, have you been to Vegas?
A tree to lean up against.
Have you been to Vegas before?
I've been once, but not for like the Vegas experience. A friend of mine lived just outside of Vegas. So I was actually visiting my sister in the Navy in San Diego, not the Army.
Go Army.
Okay.
So we drove over to Vegas to have dinner and stuff with them. So I didn't really do like, we went to see a show, but not really the casino experience and all that. So I'm looking forward to June.
Gotcha. Well, I think half the experience, like when you first go to Vegas, is just driving up and down the strip and seeing like the architecture and the buildings and stuff. There's nothing quite like that. Did you fly out of there?
No.
That's cool too when you're flying in or flying out and just seeing it, especially at night.
No, we drove in from San Diego, so we drove back.
Yeah, I got you. What's that, Tony?
It just seems like when you get there, the only way to fly out is on the red eye. And then being an East Coast guy, that is absolutely brutal to get home after a trip in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. It turns what's probably going to be a 2-day recovery anyhow into like a 4-day recovery. Yeah. JetBlue's got the 11:59 out to Boston, 11:59 p.m. And but it's really that, like, you check out of your hotel room at noon and then it's nothing good happens between then and like 10:30 when you get to the airport. You're dragging your luggage around through, it's a whole thing.
But when me and Mike, we actually did the Hoover Dam. We did the old guy trip, right? So we got in the car and headed to the Hoover Dam. Like,
why is that the old guy trip? Old guys are into dams.
Well, I didn't do that back in the Army days. Like, who the hell wants to see the dam? But like,
right.
We wanted to check that box.
Did you guys go in like in your New Balance sneakers and just marvel at the engineering of that thing?
Yeah,
is that what happened?
Yeah, we did.
You're like, I'll be damned. Look at this thing.
Hey, look at me at the dam. Yeah, that's what we did.
How many years do you think it took to build this?
A lot, Todd.
It is cool though. The Hoover Dam.
No, it's all BS aside, it's a sight, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Trish, where's your favorite place to go to vacation? Like, do you and the kids and Drew have a favorite spot, or you guys like trying something new every time?
Is it all contingent upon you renting that bus for y'all to fit on, or?
Well, I got the mini SUV with the upgraded sliding doors now.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yes.
Very nice.
So we all fit. Yeah. We actually really enjoyed ourselves in Gatlinburg. We rented a cabin a couple years ago with another family, and that was really cool. Pigeon Forge had a lot to do with the kids and stuff, and we went rafting, and that was.
Is it Dolly World?
Cool. We didn't go to Dolly World, but it is over there.
It's right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What's a perfect vacation for you, Tony? Like, money's no object where you're going.
I was hoping you were going to ask me, and I just like being down here in the Florida Keys so close. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Keys, man. It's that's a relaxing deal. You can fish, you can water sports, boating, everything, man. Key West. I mean, it's awesome down there. How about you, Todd?
I don't know. Best family vacation we ever took was California. We did LA, Hollywood, Malibu, all that. Then went down the coast and down to San Diego. It was just a great time. We were with another family that was wonderful. The kids matched up. We had a blast as parents. It was like one of those great trips. I always wanted to live in California, but it's getting a little bananas there. So I don't.
Not to get into the political deal, but all that I've got to say is California is a beautiful state.
It is a beautiful state. It's not even the politics. I mean, maybe it is, but I'm just saying, like, how expensive it is there and the way that it's run beyond politics, just as it's a horrible government. It's just the way that, I mean, they've bankrupted themselves over and over, and they spend money on the weirdest things. And now the infrastructure there is, I mean, the traffic is bananas, the whole thing. So
I'm looking forward to Boston in July. Hopefully that'll be nice. I haven't been up there, so
yeah. Boston's
hopefully we
great.
can make our leadership team meeting work in Boston.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. That's easier travel for me.
We're counting on you, bud.
Love to show you guys around. take you on the Paul Revere trail and some of that other stuff. Sam Adams, the brewery. We'll go there.
The old Swamp Scots.
To get you some Swamp Scots. Absolutely. All right. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, we'll see what we can do, man. Boston's the best in the summer.
We're going to have to save that Swamp Scott secret for later.
Yeah. Next episode. Tony came on a golf trip with a bunch of my buddies from home here at us. And so there's a lot of Massachusetts jokes that came out of that because apparently he thinks we talk funny.
What a group of guys. Great group of guys right there.
Great group of guys. We'll have them all on the next podcast, I think.
Every single one?
Yeah, and we'll just break down everybody's golf game. It'll be the most watched episode ever.
I'm excited.
Oh man. So Trish, what's one question you wish we had asked? Anything that you were hoping that we would talk about that's on your mind?
It's kind of funny you asked that because we kind of hit it on our leadership call this morning about how the pavement group has impacted me. And like how my personal life has changed since becoming part of the team at the pavement group. So, I mean, do you want me just to go ahead and answer that since it's what I wish you would have asked? Or is it just
Tony,
for future reference?
Will you officially ask it? Let's officially ask it so we can snip this and use it on social.
There has to be a process.
Exactly. So, Trish, as we're up here in our cruising altitude, just talking about the pavement group and your addition to it, like how has that changed your life?
Well, Tony, it's changed my life in numerous ways. But the biggest impact that the pavement group has had on me in my personal life is how I parent my kids. Just how much information I've learned on leadership. It's crazy how much it applies at home with your kids. I mean, and almost any relationship really, but I've really noticed a big difference in how I parent my kids and how I listen to them, and our relationship in general has improved tremendously since I started working here. So I'm very grateful for that.
That's cool. Anything specifically that comes to mind? Like, is it a communication piece?
Yeah, communication, listening to them, not trying to, I think the biggest standout thing is trying to lead instead of manage. So that's been a big thing for me. I'm very black and white and, this is the process and this is what needs to be followed versus, having the relationship side of it and like talking through things. So not expecting them to just like know what I expect and not have any other ways of doing stuff. So listening to their feedback and like, not being so black and white, I guess, has helped with our relationships.
Hey, Todd, I know what she was trying to say, and I'm going to sum it up with this. The Lammies are defined by discipline.
Oh, jeez. Champions they are. By design.
Champions sharpen.
They have T-shirts when they go to what is it? Carowinds. You guys got the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yo, wear the matching T-shirts. I love it. That's great. But I think Trish said it really well. That was well put. And that's interesting to think about that because I wonder if that's common, that the things you're learning at work are really helping you. And it should, it is a great thing, helping you be a better parent and making you more mindful. And that's pretty neat. Is that different than the way you were parented? Like, is that something that you wanted for your kids that maybe wasn't modeled for you when you were younger?
Yeah, I think growing up, we didn't really like talk about feelings and talk about, things. It was like we knew what was expected of us. And my mom was a single mom and worked quite a bit. So me and my sister kind of, she'll say I was kind of a mother figure to her. So we kind of, we're there for each other in that sense. But we didn't have emotions weren't, discussed and stuff growing up. So that's been different with my kids and trying to make it a point to, like Tony likes to coach me on having those tough conversations.
Yeah. Just got to do it.
Yeah. I think it's made the trust there a lot better because like, I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. And once I start like one big thing with them was actually acknowledging when I did something wrong. So not just like moving past it, but like actually saying like, maybe I approached this the wrong way and I should have XYZ. But like them seeing that I'm comfortable enough to, admit when I made a mistake has really, I think, eased them because, I was pretty strict when they were younger. Like, we're pretty strict parents, I think, in general. But it's kind of made them feel a little bit more at ease to come to us with stuff. And, they're getting into their teenage years. So we want that communication to be open. We don't want them to feel like they can't come to us with something for fear of how we're going to react. So that's been the biggest for me.
It's a fine line too. So that you don't want them to shut down. You don't want that communication to break, but you also don't want to be, letting everything go and being that friend parent, right? It's tricky, and they listen differently now. I mean, the communication style, just social media. I have that conversation a lot. People are like, "Oh, kids aren't social anymore; they're on their phones." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're talking to each other. They're just doing it differently." I think this generation's a lot like the baby boomers were. Like, I think they're super social and super group oriented, but they communicate in a different way. They do it digitally and, Snapchat or whatever it is. So they hear things different and their perception is different and it's read instead of heard. And it's almost like you got to coach them through text sometimes, right? To get the, it's a different time. It really is. Tony, do you have a phone?
I did not. No.
No, do you now?
Oh yeah. It's right here, Todd.
Okay.
Does it flip?
Right.
Oh.
No. But I'm living what you're about to live, Trish. Like having that 10-year gap between and you're a different parent, when they were younger than how you have to be now, just to adapt with the times and the digital stuff and the feelings that you might not have had to throw out there early on with the older ones. So it's something you'll work yourself through. I've had to do that, and I'm completely different with the younger ones than I am with the older one. Who today is his birthday, April 21st. Let's throw a shout out to
Kane. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yeah, man.
April 21. I know a bunch of people with birthdays today. My great friend Jen DiMartino. Hopefully she'll watch this. I just was texting with her. It's her birthday. My 16-year-old said something. We were just having a discussion about whatever, and my kids aren't like super like I'm into the, I don't know, like all the jargon and like the woke stuff or whatever and the feelings. They're kind of middle of the road on all that. So we don't talk about it a lot. But she said something about microaggressions with a teacher in class, and I'm like, what do you think the real world is going to be like? Like, you got to stop thinking like that. But you have to have that conversation. I'm not going to say to her, it's stupid, microaggression, just throw it out the door. So we got into talking about what that really meant. And that's a popular term that now they're throwing it at their teachers in the high school. Like, all these microaggressions this teacher has. I'm like, you're going to get out in the world and people are not going to be really nice to you. Get used to some effing microaggressions. You know what I mean? And just learn how to deal with them. They're not, it's like a freaking, I mean, it's embarrassing to even say that term, a microaggression. Wow. I don't know. So it's different, but just to Trish's point, you got to have the conversation and understand how they see that so that you can, guide them.
I've got another term that you could when the microaggressions come out, rub some dirt on it and things.
There you go.
I mean, that's my piece.
Yeah.
It'll be all better.
That is your piece. Tony, take us home. Take us home. What else is happening this week? Anything exciting, or are we wrapping up here?
I think that's about it. Operationally, we got a few big capital jobs completing this week, which is awesome. So other than that,
okay. Oh, TPG newsletter.
Oh, that's it.
That's hot. So we had the.
Have you heard about the TPG newsletter?
No, and we can clip this. Do the snip. Casey, take that out.
You're supposed to say.
Okay, here, let's do it again. Tee it up again. We will edit the crap out of this thing. Go ahead, tee it up.
Hey, Todd, have you heard of the new TPG newsletter?
Oh, Tony, I'd love to hear more about it.
Hey, we had a team vote, and it's going to be called the group chat. You want to elaborate on that?
The group chat, yeah. It's so Vinny, our artist, the in-house artist, another person whose last name I don't really know how to pronounce. Candelore.
You couldn't even say his first name. You said
I know. That's part of my charm, Tony.
That's it.
As a professional podcaster,
VC.
I trip over the words.
VC2.
The VC2 art guy.
There you go.
But painted Brian's mural. Everybody's seen how talented he is. Fun guy to have on the team. But he won the newsletter naming contest with the group chat. So that's going to be our newsletter, which the first one comes out May 1st. So we'll be sharing that out in social and everything else. I think, right, Trish? That's for the world to see, right? It's not just an in-house deal.
I think it's starting as an internal thing, so we can get it going. This is kind of a junior episode or a junior
issue.
Issue. There you go. Not episode.
Issue, yeah.
A junior issue to kind of see how it goes and publication.
Okay. I didn't know that. All right, so
we'll see how it goes, and then the goal is to make it something that we can share, a wider spread.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good deal. And then we get the top contractor school coming up in Las Vegas. That's exciting. A lot of projects are starting to roll. It just feels busy right now. I know you two are in the middle of a lot of it. What's that?
I said, buckle up, Buttercup.
I'm buckled. Why you call me Buttercup, though?
I don't know. Just out there. Hey, but we couldn't be busy without your team, Todd. So big ups to that.
Yeah. Well, we don't need that. We don't need the kudos.
You got it, Buttercup.
A little confidence there.
Let the guys
confident.
know. Let the guys know. Now, hey, it's April. It's the first quarter. You know what I mean? We got a long way to go, but so far so good this season, which is a great sign. And hopefully everybody out there that's watching, their contractor friends, you guys are having a great start to your year as well. And we do appreciate Trisha. Thank you so much for coming on, Tony. As always, wonderful job. And with the lighting, the new mic, like it's professional over there, dude. You are crushing it,
dude. I'm trying. I'm gonna get probably a couple-page dissertation from Casey on what I should have done better. So, I'm looking forward to that, bud.
Absolutely, it's just coaching. A little bit of feedback. That's all it is.
Got it.
He's the best in the biz, man. You listen to him, or you ignore him at your own peril. That's how that goes. So, all right. Well, you two the best. Want to thank everybody for watching the Pavement Group podcast. This is the outro. This outro is going to get nailed, by the way. Middle of the outro. I'm just telling you right now. Pavement Group podcast. I don't know what episode this was, but it was a really good one. We were thrilled to have Trish on. You're going to see a lot more of her this year. So we were talking lots here. Thank you again, everybody, for watching the Pavement Group podcast. We'll see you next time.